and just I don't know. I want to do stuff. I want to keep trying to get us moving forward, even though we have had awful schedules the last couple weeks, and we're off Tuesday again. Blah 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 blah. Oh, what's going on? Like sweatshirt. Big Carhartt fan. It's nice.
Tariq was in my and Mr. Perkins, this is like the first people. Mr. Perkins is standing upright and taking a tent. So like, he was Tariq, he would have been Mr. Perkins. They turned the lights out. They were taking the tent down. He goes, where'd Tariq go? When they turned the lights out, he went. And then George started, yes, and then George started screaming.
I'm glad he left. I didn't like him.
Dude, I can't believe we drove him out of the school.
Wait, what happened?
We bullied our science teacher.
Our 8th grade science teacher.
He was at our school for 1 year.
He was only there for 1 year.
Because he can't have someone like really rich.
He did the drummer.
That is really not
Where's this guy?
He bullies her all the time. Like, I let it go on. My mother-in-law walked around and was like, I don't think that's very appropriate. Like, yeah, he deserves it. Yeah. My wife or my daughter pinned my son in the dog crate yesterday, and then pushed it on him and got his finger stuck in it. It was another level of hilarious. I appreciate that. I mean, that's not hilarious. She was so proud. She was just like, you look at her face. She's like, finally got him. He bullies her all the time, so it's awesome. All right, we got some Zoomers out there. Good morning. 12 minutes left of it. If it isn't a good morning, figure out how to make it a good one in the next 12 minutes. How's that sound for you? Pretty fair? Good. Thought I saw someone possibly new here. Nick? I don't think it's Nick, though. Figure that one out. Oh, I don't think you guys are supposed to see my whole email. All right. Hey, Zoom folks. I got a question on the board in here. I'm going to pull it up for the class. I'll share the screen, and I'll make it a little bit bigger. What I want you guys to do is respond in kind with a answer A, B, C, or D to everybody in the room. Okay? Okay. I got to set a wrong Zoom. I don't know. At least we didn't get Zoom bombed yet. All right. Sharing of the screen is about to occur, upon which we will then do this. All right, guys. Which of the following describes a major cause of the expansion of the Ottoman Empire in the 15th and 16th centuries? Let's look at this as a group here. So, the Ottoman Empire successfully pursued mercantilist economic policies. Think about that one. I think you would get that. Ottoman citizens, unified by their recent conversion to Islam, were strongly motivated to conquer. C, exploitation of artillery and small arms gave the Ottomans advantages over many of their political rivals. D, the decentralized federalism of the Ottoman Empire encouraged competition and technological innovation. I think that one they were just trying to use the biggest words they could find. All right. Share hands. Who thinks it's A? Okay. Share hands. Who thinks it's B? Share hands. Who thinks it's C? We got, groupthink going on here. Look around. Make sure you're not the only one who does. I'm just kidding. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who thinks it's D? We got some non-voters. 1, 2. Come on. Griffin, did you vote? Who thinks it's 3? Okay, we got C or D here. Let's see what our friends on the chat. We're waiting for you to respond if you did not respond. We're now going to put your names up here. Yep. We got a few C's and we got an A. People in class thought it was C or D. Oh, C. C. A. Well. So I got a fancy button I can press that goes boom. Correct answer is obviously C. They were called a gunpowder empire. Oh, for those of you who got it right, good job, yo. But yeah, I can see how this decentralized federalism question, but honestly, I always told you guys, if you don't know what the words mean, who in here wants to explain decentralized federalism? Nobody. Look, I don't want to explain that. So that's not fun. And then A, mercantilism was pursued by the Europeans. We talked about the Ottoman Empire never really was able to exploit that, not as well, okay? You have to have colonies and colonization in order to do that. So that's why A would be wrong. B, we all know that that area, for the most part, was converted around the 700-800 CE. So it wasn't recent conversion to Islam. You guys understand that? With me, kind of? Good. If you are a little bit, that's good. Okay, we're going to move on here. So what I'm going to do is definitely keep that for next period. That's a great question. And I'm going to stop the share just for a moment and pull up who's doing what today. So a brief reminder. Let's see. A lot of stuff going on. That's out. Oh, while I have your attention, some of you in the room and some of you on the Zoom, you were, I sent you a message today. You're still on the list of no pay. Dead serious. I talked to Mr. Hodson. If pay is an issue for your family at this moment, one, it's not surprising. We're in a global pandemic. People have lost jobs. We've, as a family, have lost a lot of money with my wife because her job structure was based off of bonuses. So I get that you might need some help. Please send me an email. All I have to do is forward it on. We have to get to the bottom of that by, what is today, Friday? We have to get to the bottom of it in the next 48 hours, okay? You guys understand that? You can't just snap your fingers. There's a bureaucracy here in North Central, and it takes a little while, all right? But it doesn't mean it won't happen. Okay, I'm going to share the screen again real quick so everybody sees their role today. Just a reminder. I know many of you probably can't see that because it's tiny. So that's even smaller. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, what did I say? One's inner circle, two's outer circle. You see your name. That means you are the discusser if you are the one. You need to discuss twice. If you're two, you need to ask a intellectually loaded question, but one that is answerable by a 14 or 15-year-old that has been in class. And if you're asking the question, you need to make sure that you say where you got the question from, whether it was from notes in class, whether it was from your textbook, whether it was from a snapshot, okay, that you read on Monday. Okay, everyone good on that? The other thing is all of the students that are in front of me, which is a plethora of them, y'all are going to have to join on the Zoom today. We're going to try this out. Yep, we're doing it. So get on the Zoom. Let's go. Unbelievable. No, but I'll bring you one. Tissues. People. All right. The other thing is just a reminder, this is 20 points. 10 points for just participating, being respectful. And then you get another 10 points for your questions and your notes, or your two participations if you're in the inner circle and your notes. You guys good on that? Okay. Obviously, oh, it's already off. You're going to want to be on mute unless you're the person speaking, okay? You guys with me on that? We're trying this out. Trial and error. I only have 21. I got 22 now. 23. Beautiful. Beautiful world. All right. Victoria. Ooh, we got questions. Oh. Hey, who's that? Turn that nonsense off. Okay. So we are, what we're going to do is get started. We're going to try this. It should be kind of fun. If you are in person, you will unmute when you want to talk, right? Like I am right now. But at the same time, I want you to talk to us as well, okay? So I know they can hear me right now, but I don't want, what I'm trying to say is, I know they can hear me, but I want us to be able to talk to each other as well, okay? And maybe it'll be a little more personable. I'm thinking I might need to change. How are we going to be able to hear them at home, though? That's my question. With my speakers off. Let's hear if you guys mute your computers unless you're talking. So everyone mute their computers. Can you do that? Okay. Katya, you're the person I see first. Can you talk for a second? Say something?
Hi guys. Can you
Go ahead.
hear me?
Yeah, we got you now. How's your day going, Katya?
It's going pretty good.
Okay, we're gonna turn you down a little bit because that's pretty loud. Try again, Katya, will you? What did you eat for lunch?
Coffee.
Okay, yes, sir. Come on, man. Yeah. Okay. Did you try again? Okay. Who else? Okay, X out of it. Try it again. We're having some connectivity issues here. I'm just making you guys aware that I'm about to put all of your faces on the board, so that'll be fun. So we'll act like we're all doing this together, okay? I just gotta remember how to do that. It's been a minute. All right, here it is. Okay. You guys see the room? Cool. All right, let's see how this works. I'm just testing this out. Nate, unmute and say something, will you?
Hello.
Okay, ask.
Um.
Hold on, I gotta mute. Yeah, I know. I told you to try on there.
Hello.
Is everyone on mute?
Yeah.
Hello. Hello, guys.
Clear here, I'll put my head.
So basically, those of you that aren't in the room, okay, figure this out, Zoomers. When you want to talk, you got to raise your hand, and then I'll unmute you. And then I need to press another button in here, okay? All right. Glad you guys are aware. I'm going to let a Zoomer start. So anyone on Zoom who wants to ask a question. All right, Kaylee, you get to start. Hit it.
Okay, so my question is, why were Janissaries feared throughout Europe, and what characteristics did they have that made them so fearful?
That means. Okay. Yeah. You got to unmute. Did you unmute? Oh.
Here, do you want to get on my?
Brooke.
So they
Brooke,
were
go ahead.
feared. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so they were feared in Europe because they were a powerful military force and they had lots of training, and they were very disciplined and organized, which helped them be able to be as good as a military force as they were.
Good. Anyone in the room? All right. Yeah. Hit it. Go. Did you unmute? You got to unmute and say that again.
All right. Adding on to the characteristics part, I think they were like very brave and confident in what they did, and that led to them winning like a lot of battles and wars, which made them more feared.
Okay. Are you gonna?
Well, he can just use my computer and talk to mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. No, stay in your seat. You're gonna talk. But say real loud. Go. Real loud. Okay, so you don't want to talk now.
Okay.
That's tough.
Okay, thanks, Brooke. All right, that question apparently is dead. Let's get another question then. Ashton James. Ashton, get away. Let's go.
Hi, why was it so important for the empires to take control of the trade routes?
Anyone in here gonna unmute and talk? Do it. Go. Let's do it.
Because trade routes, it basically just turns right into money. because like the more goods you have, the more like economy that you have, and that basically is just like what money is, the economy.
Okay. Hannah Hiddle. Hannah Hiddle, go ahead. What do you think?
Oh yeah, and also, well, first of all, like I think what Ashton was trying to talk about was like the control of Constantinople and how that, like, or just in general the trade routes and like the access they gained to like or like the access and like new relationships they're able to form with new people, even if it was just trade relationships like with Europe, because they didn't really like expand beyond trade and like social relationships, but it was still like a crucial part of their economy, but also like development of their culture as more ideas and like probably religion like of Islam could spread through there.
Good answer. Lily, Zafian Short, go ahead.
Also with trade routes, they could conquer more land because they could have, as Hannah said, more access to other places and then conquer it.
Okay, anyone in the room gonna go do it? Do it.
Adding on, they could like control how much.
You're gonna have to speak to the point where I can hear you though.
They could control like how much the people who traded through those trade routes had to pay, and like who were able to pay. Who were able to trade.
Okay, Lily, you want to hop in, Lily Dole?
Yeah. Because they also tried to find trade routes for expansion, because expansion for them was very important. It helped because that was like the key to their like economic success and like just success in general.
Brooke, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, sure. So I was gonna also say that with more access to trade routes, you can find like easier ways to trade with other empires, and how when you're able to trade with a vast variety of different cultures, you're going to be able to increase your economy, and then also you can develop their new beliefs in the ways that they not govern, but like control their societies.
Next question. Okay, it's coming from Sam Sewell. Loud.
Why do you think the Ottomans were so good at expanding and conquering other land?
Hannah Hiddle, hit it.
So I think for the beginning, obviously, they were in an age where like new military weapons and tactics, that's hence like the name for gunpowder empires, could be used. So this opened up new opportunities for new warfare and like siege warfare, like how the Ottomans used it on Constantinople. But then also, I think they got into this cycle that they couldn't get out of. So where they relied economically and for their social social structure to stay intact because of how they rewarded the nobles who controlled the peasantry, because they rewarded the nobles with new land and like wealth that they got from like expedition and conquering. So I think it was just a cycle. So that's why they continued to do it for so long, and how they were able to like conquer so much land, because they could, but then after a while they kind of had to like keep doing it.
Hey, just a reminder for everybody, you guys are going to be turning notes in at the end of this also, just like you have been. So you have an active job that you're doing right now as well. Okay, I got Lily Zafian ZS for short. Go ahead.
Also, their military was very strong and organized, and they had a lot of experience. They were always ready to attack, and they listened to their leaders, and it was very centralized.
Okay. Go ahead. Okay, so Ethan is also going to say, go ahead, Ethan.
Janissaries, which were obviously the like elite soldiers that were feared, so that probably helped with their expansion.
Okay, Ethan said that the Janissaries definitely helped with expansion. That makes sense. Okay, anybody else on Ottoman military? All right, next question. Lucy.
Okay, so
Oh wait.
okay.
That was Lucy McJunkin. Sorry.
So my question is, why could the Ottoman Empire be the new Rome?
Say that louder twice, like 3 times loud. Do it again.
Okay, so my question is, why could the Ottoman Empire be the new Rome?
Okay. Hannah Hiddle, what do you think?
So I think this one was from like the slideshow, right? Just like their use of militarization and like how connected not only like the government was in it, but also how it translated to like the social like structure of the society.
Okay, anybody else want to add to that? Mr. Brunette thinks that it's because they gave out land for conquering, just like the Roman Empire did, and that's why there was an incentive to expand. Good question, Lucy. All right, next question. Okay, we've got Grace Lane in class. Grace.
My question is, how did the Persian Empire benefit from its location?
Where'd you get that question from?
I got that from the slideshow.
Okay, Ethan, you're going to have to speak up way louder than last time, or else we're going to do this.
It was located along the Silk trade route, which benefited it.
All right, next question. Yeah, go ahead.
So my question was, what did gunpowder do to the Europeans and the Muslim empires?
Say that louder again, please.
What did gunpowder do to the Europeans and Muslim empires?
Brooke, what do you think?
So I was thinking how the hold on, how the the Ottomans. Sorry, I was blanking on the name. The Ottoman were able to take down Constantinople with their cannons and like break down their walls with the use of putting the cannons in and firing them. So then that helped them have a strong army to be able to defeat different places and to gain more land for expansion.
Okay, what do you think, Lily Dole?
Never mind, I put my hand down.
Anybody?
Okay, so I think in general, like gunpowder basically affected society all in all because it created a giant demand for like a better military, because that basically enhanced any military or like any civilization's military that used that had an advantage in warfare.
Go ahead, Lily.
Okay, sorry. So it affected Europe by because of gunpowder. The Ottoman Empire became a threat to the Europe because they kept on trying to battle for Vienna, which they failed that, but they still became a threat to them because of how powerful they were with the gunpowder.
Good. Anybody else on the use of gunpowder by Europeans or Ottoman or Mughal or Safavid? Okay, next question. Kimberly Aiken, go ahead.
Why were the Ottomans unable to expand? And I got that from the in-class notes.
Wait. Can you say that again, please, a little louder?
Why were the Ottomans unable to expand? And I got that from the in-class notes.
So you're saying after they had already expanded into Europe and North Africa, why they started shrinking? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Okay, good question.
You always. Ooh, is that what my voice sounds like?
Or-
Okay. You always say if you're not shrinking, you're growing. And once they had started conquering, they didn't have much left. And if you're not shrinking as an empire, you're growing, like you said.
Okay.
Wait, what did I say? If you're not growing, you're shrinking.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
But why deeper? Why though? Why? Yes.
Oh.
Okay. But you're on the right track. Nyla,
Yeah, I know.
go ahead.
I have a question.
You gotta wait. Sorry. We're on the whole idea of why the Ottoman Empire stopped expanding right now. Kimberly's question. Griffin, you want it? Go ahead.
I think that they stopped expanding because they're too big to govern.
Okay, other reasons. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I believe that they weren't able to expand anymore due to like the monarchs being influenced by worldly things such as women or other stuff.
Can you say that a little louder?
I believe that they weren't able to expand anymore due to the monarchs being influenced by things such as lust and goods that made them bad monarchs.
Yeah, if you picked up on the document that you were supposed to read yesterday, they were addicted. You know, it said that future sultans were addicted to alcohol and women and were not apt to be good sultans, and that definitely hurt.
They started to lose more and more military battles, which decreased their power because, of course, no one's going to take you seriously if you keep losing and losing.
All right, help them out. Jill, come on, wake up. Help Ethan, loudly, Ethan, very loudly.
And they also had more allies, which also made them decline.
Okay, Katya, you want to get in?
Yeah, there were power struggles between the classes, and that was amplified by like weak rulers.
Good. A lot of reasons here. Anybody else in the room? Yeah, go ahead, Nate.
Also, just another reason they started losing wars is because they had the advantage in wars because they had the like artillery and stuff, but other countries started catching up with them.
Yeah, they failed the Western. See that?
Yeah, they failed to westernize.
All right. Is that dead? Hannah, you want to throw in your opinion here?
No, I think we kind of just said at the end, but if people are ready for a new question, yeah. But I was just thinking about how they failed to really like move into the new way that the world was kind of going, or like in this case be like more like Western Europe and like the advancements not only in Europe but in China that were happening, and the way that they kind of just like refused it.
Good. I like the connection to China and Europe. Exactly. China will fall behind too, though. We're alone, but next chapter we get there. Okay. Brooke, do you have anything you want to add? See your hand up.
Oh yeah, Hannah basically explained it, but I mean they also like they didn't have like any like how you said it in the notes, where it's like they didn't have any friends, so they didn't have people to like really back them up and to try and help them along.
Okay. Good. Nyla Mitchell, go ahead and ask your question.
My question was, what event happened in 1453? And this was from our in-class notes.
Go ahead. You have your points. I want someone else to go to you. Anyone here? Anyone else who hasn't spoken yet? Come on. Vince, do you want to speak? Never mind. Okay. Go ahead.
It was basically the beginning.
I need you to speak louder, though. Okay.
Okay. It was basically the beginning of the fall of Constantinople.
Okay. Hannah, go ahead.
So I think in the way that we could take this deeper, yes, the fall of Constantinople, but also like the video we watched in class, like the new turning point and like the beginning of the rise of like the Muslim empires and the Muslim religion in general.
Okay. Ethan, what were you gonna add?
I was just gonna say, it began the fall of Constantinople. Or the fall of Constantinople.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna throw out the question then to go with Nyla. What was the importance of the fall of Constantinople? What was the effect? Let's go back to Monday's class or Tuesday's class. Katya, go ahead.
Constantinople was like a big trading center and it affected the economy of that region.
What other effects, guys? Come on. People who got to debate. Nate. On mute.
It also just really helped the Ottoman Empire gain a lot of like momentum because they had that area.
But what about Europe? They went this way instead of going that way. Come on, somebody say it. Lily, go ahead, hit it.
Didn't Russia like become the new like religious like Orthodox Christianity capital or?
Yeah, that's good. What else? Okay, that question is dead. Who's got a question? You two have already asked. Anybody who, Vincent, ask me and I'll say it out loud.
I was going to ask, what were some of the disadvantages the Ottomans ran into when using gunpowder weaponry?
I don't know if anyone will have Billy answer that. Okay, Vince, Vince, what do you go by?
I go by Vincent.
Vincent asked, what were some of the disadvantages to these gunpowder empires relying on gunpowder? See if anybody can answer that. Hannah, go ahead.
I'm not 100% sure, but maybe because they became too reliant on it. But even from what I think we've learned, it would seem like they were pretty like able and like had pretty high training. But yeah, maybe they just became too resilient on it.
Reliant, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, reliant.
Good. Luella, what do you think?
Since it was new technology, at the time it was a really big advantage, but it didn't take very long for other places to start using it. And then it didn't really matter as much.
That's a good point. Anybody? Jill, hit it.
Kind of similar to what you said, but once other like empires started using gunpowder, then it came down to like battle tactics and stuff. And when you don't, and like when you both have gunpowder, it puts them at like even levels, so you can't just completely dominate without it being a struggle at all.
The T word.
Technological innovation.
Thank you. It's not that deep. Okay, anybody else in the room? Okay. Anyone want to ask a question? You two? Anyway, everyone's already asked their questions in here? Okay. Lucy, I'm going to let you ask over Grayson. The other Lucy of the three in the room are Lucy, Lily's. I think they're kind of the same. Sorry, it's my problem. The L in my head. But we're going to let Lucy Hiddle ask your question. Go ahead.
So mine is, with evidence, who do you think was the most successful ruler in the Muslim reconquest?
Oh. Who's the Peter the Great? All right. Hannah, answer your sister's question in the same house. It's not awkward. Go ahead.
He's all the way upstairs, but okay. So the Peter the Great he was the grandson of Babur, so Akbar. And I think that he just really exemplified being like a really great leader because of the way that he was not only able to think about his own empire, but able to try and incorporate or like bridge the gap between like splits between like the Hindu and Muslim people. And I think that was really important during that time, and could be, and even though it essentially failed because it kind of died out, like I think it was a step in the right direction.
Good. Okay, guys, somebody in the room need to talk more. There was a Peter the Great of the Ottoman Empire and of the Safavid Empire that hadn't been mentioned. Wake up. Come on. Anybody? Okay. That question is dead. You guys play rock paper. Oh, you want to ask?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Why was that? Oh, yeah.
You got to unmute.
Okay, what was it like? Okay, what was it? Solomon the Great. What? Why was his name so long? Because like it had like a whole page of like name. What was like the significance of that? Like, what was that supposed to like prove?
Lily, Dole, what do you think?
I feel like he had kind of an inflated sense of self because he thought he was very important, and he was a sultan. And I think his view of himself affected the way of his like how big his title or how long his title was.
Brooke, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I was basically gonna say what she said. I mean, just saying like what he has done, and just showing to people like that he's powerful and capable of doing it, and just to give himself more praise, make himself sort of think he's like better than everyone else, being able to have all these different titles that he goes by.
Griffin.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I think that he thought very highly of himself.
Why?
Because he thought he had a sense of self-importance.
Okay. Lily, Dole, what do you want to add?
Sorry, I
Do you want to add anything, Ethan? Okay. All right, Lucy McJunkins. Did you guys play rock, paper, scissors?
No.
Play rock, paper, scissors. Hurry up. No, Lucy won. Lucy, ask.
Okay, so my question is, what made Persian rugs so special? And this is from like the PowerPoint that we did in the class.
Persian rugs. Hannah.
When I think about the Persian rug, okay, anyways, when I think about the Persian rugs, I think of how like the importance of like luxury goods, like the importance of silk. I don't think that Persian rugs quite like reached the level of silk, but the fact that it was just a luxury good and like they were really intricate and probably really pretty, and like so like that really increased their value or their significance.
Jill.
I think it's similar to like in Europe when they would hire African artisans to make like really fancy stuff for them. I think they really just wanted to like feel special and have this like really cool, valuable thing that a lot of other people didn't have that was like culturally significant, but like not to you.
Okay. Grace, why don't you ask your question? Unmute, please, though.
Okay, so what were some weaknesses in having open-minded rulers in an empire?
Good question. So Grace is referring to the millet system, where Jews, Christians, and others like Zoroasters could actually worship their own religion, educate themselves, and weren't forced to follow Islamic rule. So what would be a weakness of that is what she was trying to say, what she did say. Yes, go ahead.
A weakness would be that they wouldn't have like any allies nearby, and then they would have many enemies due to the fact that they could have their own religion and groups.
Okay. What else would make that a weakness or strength? You guys gotta think. Hiddle, what do you think, Anna?
Like the way, if because they allowed these like other religions and like cultural like peoples to just like do their own thing, and it's like I personally see it more as a positive, but a negative could be like more independence from the ruling of the society and like not listening as much. Maybe like it could be seen as like a sign of like not weakness but just like not caring or like thinking too big of themselves, and then this could cause the people to seize this opportunity to like defer from the like central government and do their own thing.
Yep. It's not gonna. I mean, some of the greatest empires in history were great because they had loyalty from their citizens. Once you lose loyalty or patriotism, that's when you stop growing. I mean, that's the obvious thing, right? Okay. I'm going to throw out another question because I think it needs to be asked, and you guys need a good review on this. How effective was Muslim rule in Hindu India? What were the limitations? What were the problems? Anyone on Zoom, you can participate. Just raise your hand, and then anyone in the classroom also, go ahead. Lily Dole, talk to us.
Hinduism was tolerated. Akbar made it so that he tried to create a religion that would kind of unify both Hinduism and Islam, but it never gained traction. It failed. So in the end, he failed to like unite them, but Hinduism was tolerated in India or in the Mughal Empire.
Anybody else want to join in? Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that unless anybody else wants to ask a question. Oh, never mind. I'm going to ask one more question that didn't get asked here. Oh, Sam Barker, you got a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, my question is, what were the gunpowder empires and why were they called that? And I found this in the PowerPoint.
Somebody needs to talk. What's a layup? I know. So, okay, Jill.
The gunpowder empires were the Ottoman. Okay, I cannot pronounce them right.
Safavid.
Safavid and the
Mughal.
Mughal, because well they all had access and control over gunpowder, and that's how they conquered and the weapons they used. Technological innovation.
Anybody else? Okay. Thanks, Sam. All right, the last question that I have, and make sure we cover it, was the rise of the Persians or the Safavid coincided with the rise of the Mughal and the Ottoman. Who was the most famous leader of the Safavid Persian Empire, and what changes did he attempt to make the Safavid more organized and politically more effective and on par with the enemies, the Ottoman, that he fought against routinely? Anybody here? Okay, Hannah, go ahead.
So it was the Ismail the First. Is that how you say his name? How do you say it?
He was a unifier, but it wasn't him. Ethan's got it right here. Go ahead, Ethan. Yeah. So Shah Abbas the First was, the person who tried to organize Safed, what did he do? Do that. Hannah, you want to try again?
Sorry, I didn't realize my hand was up, but well, it says that he moved the capital, but then also he reformed the army.
Yep.
Which would, yeah.
Good one to have in your guys' notes. Okay, if you're following along. Okay, so he moved the capital. Brooke, what do you think?
I think from like the textbook, it said that he extended the Soviet domain to the greatest extent, and he created slave regiments based on captured Russians.
Yeah, pretty similar to Janissaries, right? Yes? Yeah. Okay, good job. All right, we're going to end there. Zoomers, I'm going to share those documents. We're going to talk about them here each individually from the other night. I just want to thank everybody for the participation. Let's give everybody a round of applause. And we just pulled something off that I bet a lot of classes can't do. Okay, it's pretty good. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and move you. You're all in the don't get off. I'm not ending class. Somebody already just pulled that shenanigan. Oh, maybe it's one of you guys. You guys can get off of the Zoom if you want. Not the people in front of me. There we go. No, okay. In classers, you can get off Zoom. Okay, those of you that are virtual right now who are not wearing face masks, which look a lot more comfortable, you need to stay on here. Thank you. We are going to look at these documents and talk about how each one answered the question that we were looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over, share it. If you guys want to have this up on your screen, I don't care what you guys do. You can just look at mine. It's fine. It's whatever you want to do. All right. So you were supposed to look at the following documents and write a thesis statement that discussed the strengths and weaknesses of the Muslim gunpowder empire. So briefly wanted to roll through this with everybody. If you had an idea what the document meant as either a strength or a weakness, raise your hand in class or on the Zoom and tell us what you thought. Document 1 here, the Father Paul Simon. That sounds like about as European name as you can get. So there's some pretty obvious bias there, right? Okay, if a European is talking about the Persians, I'm sure he's going to come from a slanted viewpoint. He is very valiant, and he has a great liking for warfare and weapons of war, which he is constantly in his hands. He has been eyewitnesses of this. Whenever we were with him, he was adjusting his swords, testing his muskets. So I'm guessing that the whole point of this is just to say that they had a strong military, okay? Army, land army, easy. Okay, that's all right. Second one, Imperial Mughal revenue and expenditure. What do you think they were trying to tell us about all these fancy numbers? I found it, I had to look at it like twice as a teacher even, but I figured it out pretty quickly. Brooke, what do you think?
The way I interpreted it when I looked at it was how they have so many expenses for just to be able to run their military, and then their revenue is really little compared to the total they have to spend.
Bingo. So while the military was a strength, it could be looked at as a weakness because it cost them so much and they were trading so little. Correct? Guys with me on that? Okay, document 3. We kind of already read this, honestly. There was not in all that great assembly a single man who owed his position to anything save valor and merit. No distinction is attached to birth among the Turks. In making his appointments, the Sultan pays no regard to any pretentious pretensions on the score of wealth or rank, nor does he take into consideration recommendations or popularity. He considers each case on his own merits and examines carefully into character, ability, and disposition of the man whose promotion is in question. So, how could this be looked at as a strength? This is a strength. What is it? What's the strength here, folks? Come on. No, it's Friday afternoon. I'm thinking, you're thinking. Go. Yes, Grace. Well, you wouldn't have as effective bureaucracy. You wouldn't have effective tax collectors. So by him promoting based off of merit, it shows you that it's what's called a meritocracy, where people earn their position and they're not given it at birth. That means you actually have you're going to have a more efficient government. Okay. Document 4, who's from a Orthodox Muslim cleric and opponent of the religious policies of the Mughal Emperor Akbar the Great. There used to be spend much time in the hall of worship in the company of learned men and sheiks and samanas. Gain the advantage over everyone, attain the honor of interviews with his majesty and associate with him. Sometime before him, a Brahmin instructed his majesty in the secrets and legends of Hinduism. Sometimes again, it was some other name. His majesty listened the whole night to the Sufis, obscenities, and follies. Learned monks also from Europe who are called priests have an infallible head called the Pope, brought the something in advance, or Gospels and advanced proofs of the Trinity. So I think this is a weakness. It proved to be a weakness for the Mughal Empire. How is this a weakness? Yeah. Well, tolerance of all the religions, and that without religious unity, they're not going to be very strong. Okay, this is a time period in history where if everyone's not the same way, it's going to cause issues. I mean, we live in a world now where religious freedom is a thing, right? But it's not that way around the world still. And again, it causes conflict. Okay, Zoomers, I'm going to leave you there. Oh, I hope you did your turn that DBQ assignment in to this weekend. Chapter 23 notes, okay? Asian sea trading transitions, the Ming and the Tokugawa. Bam. Let's do it. Hey, all of y'all, you're not going to be late for class, and I need to wipe down